Hey there, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I set up my bullet journal for July. I did skip last month because I traveled a lot and I didn't really need my bullet journal. It's going to be pretty hectic in July as well, so this setup is very minimal and I was able to set it up really quickly. I really had no idea what to do for the cover page and I honestly wasn't feeling like drawing anything, so I decided to use the stamp that I got from Amazon like a year ago and I never had the chance to use it. I'll have a link to it, but you could of course draw this by hand instead if you wanted to. So I've been simplifying my spreads a lot lately, and that's had a huge positive impact in my relationship with my journal because I don't have to stress about a lot of the things that I used to. For example, if I didn't have time to set up nice spreads, then I would end up not using it at all, and so that was just not sustainable for me. So I found that by simplifying it while still keeping it clean and organized just relieves a lot of that stress and I can focus on what really matters. Before I continue with the rest of the setup, I want to let you guys know that this video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare. You guys already know I've been using their platform for years, ever since I first started learning calligraphy, and then I discovered classes on drawing and illustrations, and now I'm really enjoying learning how to make these little animations. I'm sure at some point we've all wished we could pick up new skills or be more creative, but we either doubt ourselves or just don't even know where to start. So if that sounds like you too, then I highly suggest picking up a few of their classes. They literally have thousands of them in many different categories, and it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced, there's always something new to learn, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So if you want a 2-month free trial, I will have a link down below for you, as well as a link to some of my favorite classes. So back to our setup, I decided to skip the title for this one and jump straight into drawing my monthly calendar. Even though it's a busy month, I don't like using this calendar for very detailed planning, which is why it's so small. So I use it just as a monthly overview of the most important events, and that's much easier for me to see when I don't have every single detail in my monthly calendar. On the bottom, I'm doing a section for anything that's important, and then the next page is for the monthly to-do list. I initially wanted to skip the habit tracker this month because I'll have so much going on and I knew it wasn't a good time to include the whole thing in my setup. So instead what I did is I chose 2 of the habits that are most important to me this month so that I can focus on those instead of, being disappointed that I didn't fill up a whole habit tracker. I'm usually not necessarily a fan of having so much stuff on a single spread because it can get pretty crowded, but I think it might work this time. Next, I'm going to be doing the health tracker, and it's going to be exactly like the one I did last time. It's just a very simple calendar layout. I don't even add the dates because I want to keep it very simple, but you can use this for tracking a lot of different things depending on what you need or what your goals are. So you can draw little icons to track your workouts, your weight, your calories, eating healthy, and so on. On the following page is actually the reason why I've been traveling and why I've been so busy, is because I'm planning my wedding, and even though I only use Google Sheets for planning it because I don't see any other way, I still wanted a place to write down different tasks or important reminders. Next up is my What Happened in July spread, and instead of having all the days of the month for journaling each day like I did previously, I'm going to keep it blank and use it for doodling or writing down the events that I want to remember from July. So finally, I'm setting up for the first day of July, and as you guys know, I don't do weekly spreads in advance because I never know how much space I'm going to need for each day or if I'm going to need it. So I prefer to have a running list, which is something that I've been doing for over a year now, and it's worked the best. Alright, that brings us to the final flip through so you can see how everything turned out. And before I leave you, I wanted to remember to recommend a video that I stumbled upon recently. I will have it linked down below. It's from Rachel Stephen, and she talks about the mistakes she's done in her bullet journal. Now obviously there's no right or wrong as long as it works for you, but she has a lot of insight and tips for simplifying your bullet journal in order to minimize being stressed and overwhelmed, which I think is super important. And I related to a lot of the points that she made, and I'm sure a lot of you will too. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have an awesome month ahead, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.